Hello everybody, this is your Digital Super Saiyan 3 back here with a new video, and, well, Kingdom Hearts, baby! The crossover between Disney and Final Fantasy. Sure, the series may be known for being so complex with its story at times, but, the best parts about the Kingdom Hearts games are usually the worlds and let alone the hack and slash gameplay. And also, not to mention, just the interactions you get while meeting other Disney characters, and so on and so forth. But today, I thought I'd go over my top 10 list of my top 10 favorite worlds in the Kingdom Hearts series. Now, I'm going from Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, and of course Kingdom Hearts 3. So mainly I'm just going from those mainline games where we get to visit other worlds. I'm not going to talk about the fragmentary pass birth 2.0 fragmentary passage. I'm not going to be talking about that, where it's just Aqua in the Realm of Darkness. Second, I'm not going to include any Chain of Memories or Recoded. I have not played Recoded, but I have played Chain of Memories. And of course, if a world on this list, and of course it's not just worlds that Sora and friends have been to, but also I can include worlds that Aqua, Terra, and Ven have been in during their time in Birth by Sleep. Since I basically mentioned Birth by Sleep is on this, that is able to be on here. Anyway, enough talk. Let's get on to the list. Number 10, Traverse Town from Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Now, this is the only Dream Drop Distance world on my list. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the other worlds that Dream Drop Distance had, but my favorite is their rendition of Traverse Town. I mean, I love the original Traverse Town in the first Kingdom Hearts. It was awesome. But I love the Traverse Town in Dream Drop Distance a little bit more. Especially with all the new areas that you get to explore. Like the post office and all the rails that you can grind on using flow motion. To even the new districts like the 4th District, the 5th District, and even the Fountain Plaza. Heck, they even got a freaking Dream Eaters Coliseum there, so that's pretty cool that Traverse Town has this. But it's only a Dream Eaters Coliseum where you can enter Dream Eaters in battles. But I'm not going to get too much into it, even though I didn't play in the Coliseum, so I'm not going to say much about it, though. It's still pretty cool, though, for an area. And also, it's the only world on this list that featured other types of characters that Square Enix had made, which is The World Ends With You. Which I learned about the series through my experience with Dream Drop Distance. Speaking of Birth by Sleep, number 9 is the Enchanted Dominion from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Now, this is one of the first 3 worlds you go to in Birth by Sleep. Why was I about to say Dream Drop Distance? Birth by Sleep's. One of their first 3 worlds were based off of the princess movies, the early princess movies of Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and Snow White. But my favorite had to be the Enchanted Dominion based off of Sleeping Beauty. I love how they took the iconic locations of Sleeping Beauty and put them into this world. I love the exploration they have, like the bright and colorfulness of Aurora's castle, to the forest, to the darkened grittiness of Maleficent's castle, because, of course, Maleficent has been a big, constant presence in the Kingdom Hearts series. Sure, she's never been, like, the main villain of the Kingdom Hearts games. She's often or not been, like, a side villain or a side character, but it's really cool we actually get to go to the world that she is from, that she originated in, and also not just her, but Aurora and the three good fairies as well. Since we saw Aurora and the fairies in previous games. So when Birth by Sleep came out, it was really awesome to explore to explore worlds before the Heartless, and the Enchanted Dominion is one of them. I love its theme song, especially. Like, the theme song for the Enchanted Dominion is just amazing. I love how it's so sad, like all hope is lost, but yet there is like that little glimmer of hope, that plays in one note of the song. And then, of course, I love the battle theme. It's really good. And also, the boss fights in the Enchanted Dominion were unique. Mainly the Maleficent boss fights with Ven and Aqua, where Terra just fights a giant unversed. Number 8, Monstro, Kingdom Hearts 3, or Monstropolis, Kingdom Hearts 3. Why was I about to say Monstro? Number 8 is Monstropolis from Kingdom Hearts 3. Monstropolis from Kingdom Hearts 3 is the first of the 3 Kingdom Hearts 3 worlds on this list. And I loved going through Monstropolis. I loved the exploration of the giant factory that we're in. Because it makes sense, since most of the main movie of the original movie took place within the factory. Yes, there were those other locations that were in Monsters Inc., like Harryhausen's restaurant, Mike and Sully's apartment. But the main fact of the matter is, this world was mainly... I love the storyline for Monstropolis, where Sora, Donald, and Goofy meet Mike and Sully for the first time, and they are playing with Boo, and then the Unverse show up, and also Randall returns, and it's a big battle for the factory, with the fate of Monsters Inc. hanging in the balance. It's a really unique world in its execution, and I love the fact that Sora, Donald, and Goofy blended in by turning themselves into monsters. I mean, it's also one of the more unique transformations that Sora's gone under since going to different worlds. And I also love, how when you are going into the door vault, when you're skating, you're using flow motion to grind on the rail on top of the doors, and then you get to ride the doors. It's just so unique. It's so well executed. And Monstropolis gets the number 8 spot on my list, though. Number 7, Deep Space, Birth by Sleep. Yet again, another Birth by Sleep world on this list, and it's probably the last one of the Birth by Sleep worlds, but my favorite had to be Deep Space. I love the sense of wonderment it has. This is what we got for the token Lilo and Stitch world, though it's a shame we didn't get a full Lilo and Stitch world about exploring the islands and everything, but this world was mainly constructed off the first 5 minutes of Lilo and Stitch. Now, Aqua and Terra's boss fight features different characters, like from Lilo and Stitch, or from the Lilo and Stitch universe. Terra gets a fight with Experiment 221 in his story, and in Aqua's story, she gets a boss fight against Gantu while teaming up with Stitch. In Ven's story, his final boss in the Deep Space world is a giant Unverse, which snuck aboard the ship. Overall, I enjoyed this world and its execution. I loved its sense of wonderment music, and of course I enjoyed its rock and battle theme. So what beats out Deep Space for me? Number 6, End of the World, Kingdom Hearts 1. This is the final level of the first game. There is no turning back now. This is where it all happens, where Sora and friends finally confront Ansem, or Xehanort's Heartless. But I'll just stick to calling him Ansem since it's simpler. I mean, a lot happens in this world. It's the final world, and it does its job to capitalize, or to cap off the first game very well. So, yeah. I'm not going to talk much about this world, but it's a world where it's mainly just you in enemy territory. And the same can be said for my number one pick, but this one, I enjoyed this one a lot, and although I admire it for being so hard and challenging, yes, it could be frustrating at times, but I respect End of the World for being a challenging level, or a challenging world to go through. Number 5 is Olympus from Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, yes, we have visited the Olympus Coliseum plenty of times throughout the series, but in this world we go beyond the Coliseum. I mean, yes, it was fun exploring the underworld in KH2, but in Kingdom Hearts 3, we're exploring the city of Thebes as it's under attack by Heartless. And not only that, we got Hercules as a party member. How cool is that? We finally have a game where Hercules is a party member. Okay, yes, there was Birth by Sleep, but I meant like a party member to explore everything or to explore the area with, and not just appearing for the occasional one battle. And you can actually heal your party mate instead of like in Birth by Sleep where you can't heal your party member, you can only heal yourself. But overall, it's a really good level, especially capitalized off of a boss fight with the Titans themselves. I love the boss fight against each of the Titans. And I really can't pick a favorite out of the Titans of which boss fight I like the most. I like fighting all four of them, even though they are all in individual boss fights, but I still enjoyed fighting them nonetheless. I mean, you first fight the Rock Titan, then you fight both the Ice Titan and the Lava Titan, then finally fighting the Tornado or Wind Titan. So it's an amazing world, and we finally get to meet and interact with Zeus for the first time. That's also the only time that Zeus has made his appearance in the series. I mean, sure, Zeus was mentioned, but this was his only appearance in the series. Number 4, Toybox, Kingdom Hearts 3. Alright, to round out the best Kingdom Hearts worlds is Toybox. I love teaming up with Buzz and Woody for this world. Yes, you start off in Andy's room, and then finally make your way towards Galaxy Toys, which was a location created just for the game. Yeah, there are these sections where you have to pilot these giant mechs. And yes, Sora, Donald, and Goofy are turned into action figures in this game, or in this world, so it makes sense. Because of world order and everything. Oh, I forgot to talk about Monstropolis in Monstropolis that Mike and Sully were the party members. But more about the Galaxy Toys. We're more about Toybox right now. But yeah, Toybox though, I loved teaming with Buzz and Woody. I loved their super attack where they made a reference to the first movie. Heck, there were plenty of Toy Story references throughout this world and my exploration. You saw the Pizza Planet truck in the parking lot of Galaxy Toys when you go in. To this one scene where Sora and Woody are running on the record player, and it is reference to that scene in Toy Story 2. To even that scene and even Buzz and Woody's super attack where they're riding on Sid's rocket is in reference to the first movie. So I love the little references they got here and there, and there's also Virium Rex, which also shows Yozora, a character you meet in the Easter egg trick. Well, not in the Easter. Well, it's complicated. It's like he's like a secret boss or something, but yeah, he's just chilling out on these posters. But overall, I liked the Toy Box. It was a fun world, and I liked their rendition of You Got a Friend in Me, and then the battle theme was just epic. Number 3, Twilight Town, Kingdom Hearts 2. Don't get me wrong, I like the Twilight Town of Kingdom Hearts 3, and it was a fun world at that. But I prefer the version in Kingdom Hearts 2 being where Kingdom Hearts 2's plot kicks off. It's definitely got its moments, and Twilight Town in Kingdom Hearts 2, to me, has more exploration than the one in Kingdom Hearts 3. Well, don't get me wrong, I like some of the new areas that were included, but again, we're very limited on exploration of Twilight Town in this time around. I don't know why they limited the exploration for Twilight Town, but Kingdom Hearts 2, you get more exploration with it, so that's why the Kingdom Hearts 2 version of Twilight Town gets put over the Kingdom Hearts 3 version. Number 2, Hollow Bastion, Kingdom Hearts 2. Wow, Kingdom Hearts 2 takes up the top 3 spots on this list, and Hollow Bastion has definitely had its ups with Kingdom Hearts 2. I definitely think it's definitely a lot better than the first game's Hollow Bastion. Not to say the first game's Hollow Bastion was bad, but Kingdom Hearts 2's version was definitely where it was at. I mean, there's a lot of memorable stuff that happens in this world, and memorable cutscenes that have happened in this world. I know plenty of Kingdom Hearts fans have basically know what I'm talking about, so I can't really go into detail about the cutscenes that happen in Hollow Bastion, because there's just too many memorable moments that happen in Kingdom Hearts 2 Hollow Bastion. And of course, like Twilight Town, you also get many visits to Hollow Bastion throughout the game. So there's that. I love the amount of visits you get to Hollow Bastion. It's fun, and also not to mention the interactions with the others. So yeah, number 2, Hollow Bastion, Kingdom Hearts 2. Number 1, and my number 1 favorite Kingdom Hearts world is The World That Never Was, Kingdom Hearts 2. I prefer this one over the Dream Drop Distance version. Not to say I hate the version from Dream Drop Distance, but I kind of prefer this world, or this version of The World That Never Was over the one in Dream Drop Distance, because, it just has a more epic flow to it. I love how this was within Organization 13's stronghold. And just like in the first game, you're in enemy territory when you get to the final world, where you're going to where the villains live, and you're finally confronting them and taking them out one by one. So, in amazing fashion, in true Kingdom Hearts fashion, it definitely does its job well to cap off the game it represents. Just like how End of the World did its job well for capping off Kingdom Hearts 1, The World That Never Was does its job to capitalize off of to end off Kingdom Hearts 2 with a bang, and I definitely love it for it. Anyway, I still will continue to love this series, and also next year, Kingdom Hearts will be turning 20 next year because it came out in 2002. Yay! Anyway, this has been your Digital Super Saiyan 3, and next time I do a Kingdom Hearts video, I'm gonna tackle the top 5 worst. See ya!